idea. All right. Good evening, Gotham. Good evening, Metropolis. Emerald City, Xanadu, Babylon, to the ISS, and the rest of you. It is May 2nd, 2022. It is 1 a.m. in New York. It is 8 a.m. in Kiev, where the ghost has been exposed. It is 3 p.m. in Moscow, and it is 10 p.m. in Sherman Oaks, California. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the number one podcast that nobody knows about and fewer people watch. But if you are lucky to find this, hopefully you'll make a comment. If you like the product, express that. If you are in the majority and disapprove, could you let me know that as well, as we are now into day 68 of the war in Ukraine? It's not a war, it's a conflict, it's a crisis, it's a misunderstanding, whatever they want to call it. Shout out quickly to Greeley West Side Liquor as we get ready for Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day. Boy, there's two good reasons to stay. You know what faced. Um, these are props. I don't drink. You can drink all you want. You don't even have to drink and drive anymore. You can have it delivered. So if you're in Greeley or Evans, give them a call. Otherwise, social media around the world, go to Greeley West Side Liquor, take a look at their business model, and go tell your liquor store locally to deliver to you. All right. And then we'll get to On This Day in History. That, of course, is brought to us by Silver Mountain Jewelry and Pawn and to the Rayloff family who own that business. All right. A lot of monkey business in the headlines. And we'll roll through all of them very quickly. Nancy Pelosi yesterday, of course, was in Ukraine meeting with President Zelensky and assuring Zelensky and to the global press that the United States is committed and we are in it to win it. And we're with Ukraine to the end. This brings a further problem of that's great that you are the most recognized leader, even though you're third in pecking order, Nancy. Um, Military experts, of which I am not one. I am an enthusiast of geopolitics and the military politics of politics geographically. So, in the first 10 days, when I made my prognostications about this nonsense, even senior military strategists are saying this could go on for a decade. It's interesting. Day 68 now, day 69, because it's after tomorrow, obviously, in Eastern Europe. Um, Nancy Pelosi's visit to Ukraine marked the highest ranking White House of, she's Congress, she's Senate actually, but the media reporting that made her the highest ranking White House official. Are you talking about the Gang of Eight? Okay. A lot of photographs. Yep. Because they're going to be recycled almost as much as Saturday evening's Not Gaff from Trevor Noah regarding President Joe Biden's presidency, where everything's looking up. Gas prices are up, food prices are up, and everybody giggled. So we'll see which pictures get floated more during the election cycle now as primary season kicks off tomorrow, Tuesday, May 3rd. Um, an interesting turn of events in the last 12 hours. A draft of a brief of the United States Supreme Court written by Justice Samuel Alito has been leaked to the press. It states that Roe versus Wade and the subsequent, oh, damn it, I did not write it down because it was in my head, the 1992 Planned Parenthood case will be overturned. So, right now, as we speak, at 1 a.m. on the East Coast in Washington, D.C., a group of very interestingly dressed look, I know I'm the poster child for birth control, okay? I am not a fashionable guy, but the panoramic view of diversity of those people who are standing in front of an empty building screaming at the top of their lungs. That's my observation right now. I am going to consume the overnight news. I deliberately chose to do this live. I apologize. There will not be a Rumble version of this. I did not run the secondary camera because I have On This Day slated up on it. We do not have a moment of silence because there's too many headlines in the news. Continued worries now that May Day has been celebrated wherever it was across the world where they like to celebrate socialism. Um, Fear now that May 9th is going to be a critical date for Vladimir Putin, and he may actually declare war. What senior White House analysis? Those people need to get on TikTok and make a Mary Poppins video. Not funny. Not funny at all, actually. But continued concerns the crisis is going to spill over next into Moldova, which is interesting because in those first 14 days, remember they had a press briefing and somebody said they accidentally said, "We're not going to Moldova." Oh, fake news. That's fake news. That's fake news. What are you, Mike Lindell's friend on Twitter? Get out of here. Senator Bob Menendez is not walking back his talking points from Sunday's fiasco on Meet the Press with Upchuck Todd regarding calling Vladimir Putin the butcher of Moscow. Um, Congress is going to allege they have to act now and will be voting on the 31 or $33 billion aid package to Ukraine. Democrats are also insisting they need to tack on some COVID stuff as Broadway announces the mask mandates are going away. New York City mayor, I forgot his name, I didn't write it down. The ex-cop, the gonna need you wearing masks, gotta have masks inside. We're not gonna tell you to do it, we're just encouraging it. Massive uptick of COVID cases in the Northeast may suggest lockdowns are coming back soon. Meanwhile, lockdown conditions are not total. However, the lockdowns continue in Shanghai as Shanghai is attempting to reopen portions so that they can start shipping and producing out goods because Shanghai, of course, is the world's largest port. Um, uh, Sunday talking points also in Monday's overreach from the White House press room, Jen Psaki, regarding questions and pushback from Democrats as well as Republicans regarding Title 42. Jen Psaki quickly did not circle back and misdirected the press corps regarding President Biden's potential announcement of, I guess, with a stroke of a pen, will be canceling some people's student debt. Some are wondering if this is even constitutional. Is it legal? Can it be done? Sure, it can be done, not under executive order. Congress, that's a laugh. And in the meantime, are the courts even this leak is the most this should the courts it's now this just makes the courts look like a banana republic. This isn't how we control democracies. Wow. Yeah, the Democratic Party seems very outraged and very vocal right now regarding Roe v. Wade, the same group that now wants to hold Brett Kavanaugh to the fire. You said that abortion was the law of the land, and now I'm in a draft. Who leaked this? They need to be brought into the public square and let Maxine Waters and the squad and AOC and Ben Crump can represent, and masturbating race baiter Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Barack Obama, and they can all stone her to death right there. How do I have a feeling who leaked this was a woman? The same way I had a feeling the ghost of Kiev never existed. And in the first 10 days, I kept reporting these amazing feats of a fighter pilot that just doesn't exist. And I said, but if they do, it's a guy. It's a guy in the cockpit, all right? It's not a woman. And sorry, ladies, but they're not Ukrainian. My guess is they would be Israeli intelligence. I just don't know if they're Mossad or Israeli intelligence, but it's an Israeli pilot. Well, day 67 into day 68, the world found out that the ghost of Kiev, the successful fighter pilot who was knocking everything out of the sky, was a hoax. Meanwhile, footage coming out of Scotland and Loch Ness suggests some of the most credible footage ever taken, most recently of the Loch Ness monster. Uh, what's trending more right now? The ghost of Kiev. That's Kiev, you racist bastard. Yeah. Or Loch Ness and Nessie. And the world of cameras and everything else. Hey, what is that? Russia again continuing day 68 into 69 as the overnight, now the morning. Uh, there's no reason to see end in sight regarding the assault in the Donbass region, as well as continued attacks in Odessa. Odessa now seeing the airfield bombed, several missile strikes, along with random attacks in Odessa. Do, 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 do. Um, Homeland Security has released a 6-point plan regarding our border security. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Talk about a freak show on the dance floor. Um, he says that his people, his team, they've been working on a 6-point plan regarding the border crisis for 9 months. It's been forever since I touched anything soft and smooth. And a horrible conversation went really bad on the Leisure podcast regarding sex. But the last time I checked, in 9 months, you can have a baby with 10 fingers and 10 toes and either 2 tits or 1 penis. Um, no, they can be born with both tits and you're not supposed to say tits. Okay, boobs. Or 21. Let's be fair. 21. 10 fingers, 10 toes, and you either have a vagina or you have a penis. Excuse me, but every 1 in 162 million births. How do you know that? Because you kill so many before they ever pop out of the womb. Uh, oh, sorry. Bad scooter. Me talking about abortion. Yeah, that's a joke. I'm the poster child for birth control, for Christ's sakes. Um, sorry. Ooh, Freudian slip. Dr. Jill, genuflect when you say Dr. Jill. Dr. Jill Biden has announced that she will be traveling this week for Mother's Day to Romania and Slovakia to meet with Ukrainian mothers. Okay, well, who's in charge of Joe while you go? The Easter Bunny. A recent report released by scientists alleged that 21% of the reptiles face extinction due to climate change if we don't act immediately. Okay. Hepatitis cases continue to rise in the United States and has now taken the life of a child in Wisconsin. CDC is monitoring. The national price for a gallon of diesel has now hit record all-time high of $5.29 a gallon. That is twice it's doubled since 1 year ago this past weekend. Again, these are the numbers for May 1st as we finished out. So the numbers end and then they start regrowing. And we're going to see a lot of numbers this week. Economic indicators, the rent indicators. I miss the days of them actually telling us what the M1 money supply is. We are seeing a growing trend now. Japan is starting to dump their treasury notes. This may be an economic indicator of other countries that are about to start dumping the U.S. debt we've been selling them for decades. The CEO of Intel says that the chip shortage may continue through 2024. The nationwide manhunt continues as of 30 minutes before tape. I did not I unplugged at 10:30 Mountain Time. So if they've caught the Alabama correction officer and/or the suspect and/or the convicted murderer who was being, just we're going to take a little day trip, honey, and you and me, we're out of here. Um, so as of tape, this is live, actually. Sorry. Um, Still a nationwide manhunt and supposedly now a reward out for the corrections officer. I personally don't see this case going through Wednesday because of the digital world and tracking and see something and say something. And, if they're in the wrong county and they're not wearing a mask, the game's over. They're going to call somebody. They're going to reach out on social media. They're going to use a debit card. They're going to be seen by digital surveillance. It's a matter of time. Um, as I reported last month, there were 3 suspicious deaths before Easter on the USS George Washington, and the media kept telling you it was in Norfolk, Virginia. And I kept screaming here, you guys don't even know where the naval base is. It's Newport News Naval Shipyards in Newport News, which is on the other side of the bay from Norfolk. And Norfolk is up the beach from Virginia Beach. Well, the media has had to double back today. The 3 suspicious deaths on board the USS George Washington were the tipping point since the George Washington pulled into dock for maintenance and overhaul. 7 crew members have killed themselves. And again, our veterans are killing themselves at the rate of 1 an hour. We're losing essentially 24 veterans due to suicide every day. So the Navy, through the Pentagon, has announced they're going to offer offshore housing for the members who are on board the USS George Washington during. That's your solution, huh? You reported it like it was a mysterious illness. You claimed it. You didn't know anything. You knew damn well that sailors have been committing suicide at record numbers. And now you have a cluster case aboard the USS George Washington, not out at sea, but in Newport News Naval Shipyards. Why suddenly now the immediate need to recognize where the USS George Washington is? Is there some little political nonsense of who's in charge of that district versus this district and this city versus that city? Because NBC News, ABC News, and CBS News, all of you continued to report that the USS George Washington was in Norfolk, Virginia. Now, you people all think this is nuts until you've stood there and you've seen the waterway and you understand who has come through in history through that waterway. In my case, there's Don Carlo Gambino. But there are many in history who've entered through into the United States in that waterway, as well as I remember at lunch, if I wasn't going to take the ferry over and have my Coke and smoke on the ferry, I would sit and watch the submarines come in. No, they come in under. No, they don't. If they're coming into port at Newport News, there's the sub. They move real slow through the channel, so you can sit there and smoke. And I know where I'm sitting. I know what I'm wearing. I know what trees are above me, what's in front of me, the rail, the side. Ooh, pretty girls on roller skates. Hold on. It's Newport News. Lion mother. Lion mother. Um, Dr. Deborah, it's not, it's dyslexia. It's not bricks. It's Birx. BIRX. Um, we're going to need more vaccines and boosters for this summer and fall. The United States should um, prepare for a predictable surge. Tracking multiple COVID variants now. The BA2 and the BA4 and the BA5 and the BS. You don't get to behave like that at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and then come out Monday and just blow smoke out your mouth like that. The ambassador, the United Nations ambassador to Ukraine, United States, sorry, the United States ambassador to Ukraine. You know, the ones who sit at the table at the United Nations. Biden propped her up in the gallery during the State of the Union. You know, and she's getting ready to step down. Yeah, she should have stepped down before she made this comment. Nancy Pelosi's visit to Ukraine shows the dedication and commitment by the United States. It was very symbolic. You're going to need some better speech writers, and you're not going to need them because you're fired. No, I appointed you, and you're done. Shut your mouth. Shut your pie hole. Who wrote that? Okay. You are never coming onto K Street, Capitol Hill. As far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't get a job valeting cars in this zip code. Who taught you to write? Who taught you to think? And are you not listening to the defense secretary and the secretary of state? Okay. The ambassador went on to say that war was started by Russians and must be ended by Russians. The Soviets are in charge, not the Russians, hot mop. And you're not a hot mop. You're not a wet mop. You're not a damp mop. And you're sure not a dust mop. You are a worthless mop. War was started by Russians and it must be ended by Russians. That's not how you win a war. She's a woman. You can't tell. Yeah, I can. She's stupid. Who wrote that speech? Who told her to say you're all up and down the line? We're not, this isn't the correspondence dinner and we don't have a token here. You're all fired. You're all done. No, they're going to get promoted. Um, Germany has announced that quitting dependence upon Russian oil by late this summer is realistic. So Germany's going to continue to buy oil in rubles through the summer. Okay, let us know how that goes. Um, Delta Airlines last week, of course, was voted the best airline in the United States. Some of you may want to recall those votes. Delta Airlines accidentally killed 5 million bees in a shipping error. Where were they delivered? If you delivered the bees to the ambassador's house, somebody's getting a raise. No? I'm gonna ask Manny. Manny, at what point do I put out an all points bulletin or at least a missing persons for Manny? Manny, come on. It's not funny anymore. Come out. Wherever you're hiding, come out. People are gonna think I killed you. People are gonna think that I'm suggesting sending bees to the UN or the United Nations, the United States ambassador to Ukraine. All right. Look, cherry blossom trees in DC. I know. Well, maybe they're hungry. Maybe they've never had a cherry blossom. How about we ship them there? The kids are standing in front of a building that is empty, screaming, making their parents proud. The media, by the way, was caught deep faking themselves at the White House press correspondents' dinner, which now has a lot of people scratching their heads. Um, you may and you can go Google it. I'll try and put in the links to this one. Um, Media deep fake White House press correspondents' dinner, and it's actually the White House Press Association, WH it's correspondence. Sorry, WHCA, White House Correspondents Association. Um, I did the diesel price. I'm sorry, I forgot about this one. The national gas price average right now, $4.19. I'm just checking all my notes that I got everything. I don't want to. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. So for the correspondence dinner, uh, Martha Stewart's there. Okay. Fran Drescher, no comment. Um, Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. Uh-huh. Still not explaining the bad jokes. One of the first videos I ever did on YouTube was the White House press correspondence dinner in Karl Rove. It was MC Rove. I was laughing my I should record that. What are you doing? I don't know. You should put it on. I'll put it on YouTube. That's a good idea. Self-deprecating humor is one thing. I don't know. I can't watch it again. Comedically, it stands on itself, and this fell in the toilet. You gave your opposition talking points, just like Saturday Night Live and Tina Fey pretending to be Sarah Palin. I can see Russia from my house. Well, that stuck on Sarah. This is going to blow up in the Democrats' face come the midterms. Not like the economy isn't now. There are some frightening numbers. That was the other I missed. The polling data. The polling data. The most recent Rasmussen poll is out, and it is right now on my Twitter feed, the Scooter McGee. And I'm sorry I never plugged my sites. ScooterMcGee.com is still being built, and if you're on a smartphone, it's going to go website crashed. No, they're tweaking it right now to optimize for computers and desktops versus you idiots on your phones and your what do they call those things? These things. What are these things called? I mean, this thing is fucking worthless. Whatever the tablets. He didn't really. Yeah, freaking worthless. The Rasmussen polling data. Democrats have lost rural America. At the height, it was William Jefferson Clinton. And to date, with President Biden in the, oh God, this is just horrible. With President Biden in the 2020, 83% loss of votes and districts by Democrats in rural areas. The Rasmussen data does also address the substantial loss of voters in not only the rural districts, but in a further breakdown of Black and Hispanic voters are absolutely not happy with the Biden administration and Democrats as a whole. The Food and Drug Administration has announced this is landmark for them. This is unprecedented. Yeah, we're going to ban menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. Off camera is one. There's actually a regular humidor that sits on someone's desk, and there's a commercial humidor under it. Yes, I drink, I smoke, I gamble. I enjoy a good cigar. I enjoy a nice Cohiba. My favorite cigar. Don't send them. You can join my Patreon, but or you want to send. I tell you what, you want to send me a box of cigars, and you're smart enough to find me in the world. I will accept a box of cigars. I'm not asking for them. We're gonna ban menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. I have never enjoyed a flavored anything. Well, girlfriends aside is different. I need fire. I think I threw it in my temper tantrum on that tab. Worthless. Well, you didn't buy it in the store. No, I bought it on Marketplace, and it turned out that it's okay. Enough of my problem. Smoking. Um, by the way, when I first heard, I'm like, and just because I'm a racist, what are you doing? Three-quarters of the smoke. Again, I'm the RJR guy, barbarians at the gate. I'll take 3% of the smokers market any day of the week. I'll take 2% of. Let me wet my beak. Irish Roman Catholic conservative nationalist, expat Irish mafia. Just let me have a taste. No, I was wrong. Not only was I wrong about sex scandals in Europe on the conspiracy keepers, now that all the uh, members of parliament are getting busted with porn on their phones. Um, Boy, I was wrong. What? Three-quarters of the cigarette smokers of menthol have to be black. Oh no. 83% are black. Oh dear God. Are you going to piss them off? Yeah. And it might be, you guys might want to think about banning the menthols, especially anytime when the African American, we're not saying African American community anymore. We're not. Why? Well, because there's a lot of black people who don't like. Oh, I see. Well, let me know how the Latinos feel about your Latinx crap. Um, Apparently, this announcement by the FDA is already getting pushback. You know, this could be seen as, yeah. Well, we're not gonna go after smokers. No, we're gonna go after the manufacturers and the retailers. Okay, organized crime. You're going to create an underground for these things. Just like when I bought up all the Coca-Cola in Ramsey County as a kid because they announced that Coca-Cola was going away. Um, I didn't sell mine. I rationed mine to consume through what I thought was going to be my adulthood. I was frightened at the amount of Coca-Cola I drank every day back then, and my supply was almost gone before New Coke was gone away and Coca-Cola Classic. And wait a minute, Coke Classic tastes like they've changed the recipe. Well, we made a couple of two. You changed the recipe. How do you know that's? I'm holding a can of original right here. Taste. Where'd you get this, dude? Oh, I have a whole closet full of it. I never sold them. But in the inner city, you can buy single cigarettes. Uh huh. That's illegal. How about the guy outside selling it? Hey, yo, man, can I bum a smoke? Well, at $7 a pop now, they're getting kind of $10 a pop. Hey, well, there's money. Oh, so can't wait to see who you target for selling cigarettes that are menthol once the ban is implemented. Because if you think that they're not going to do this, you're nuts. Because the FDA also points out in their unprecedented need to do this, they're doing it for your own good. Apparently, black smokers are in worse health than white smokers. So they're going to come gunning for me. I didn't realize we ran long. We should get to the days of the past and on this day in history. So, and again, I apologize for not having the moment of silence. But so this is gonna, damn it, this is gonna be long. Where are we? 1519. Leonardo da Vinci is dead. All right, famous Renaissance artist, of course, died on this day, 5/2/1519. Um, Henry VIII's second wife is now in trouble. She was sent to the Tower of London on charges of adultery and incest. Although likely innocent, she was later convicted and beheaded. Ah, good. So we had a fair trial before the conviction. 1611, the King James Version of the Bible is now first published. 1803, it is the Louisiana Purchase. The United States, under Thomas Jefferson, purchased the Louisiana Territory from France. Oh, we stole it. 3 cents an acre, 828,000 square miles. Did I say that right? 828,000 square miles, and I cannot convert miles to acres. Sorry. The Red Baron, 1892. Baron von Richthofen, of course, was born. And he was born in Germany then, which is now Poland now. Maybe that's why Nancy was there. She wanted to hook up with her high school romance. It is on this day, 1920, the Negro National League, the NNL, is founded, and it was the first successful professional baseball league for. See, we didn't have African Americans in 1920, so it was the first professional baseball league for African Americans. Okay, this is where Satchel Paige and the likes come out. Cool Papa Bell, if I remember my baseball history and the Negro League. So yeah, do we have anything? Yes, 1946. Ah, the attempted escape from Alcatraz by 6 inmates that led to 2 days of riots that was ultimately known as the Battle of Alcatraz, and one of the last nails in her coffin. Tony Blair is elected as the British Labour Party's leader in 1997. President Bill Clinton then in 2000 announces GPS, which had only been available for military, was now being downgraded or degraded to non-military use. 2011, I know right where I'm at. I'm at Sam's house, and we're saying goodbye. And why? Because I got to get in the car. Why? Our phones just beeped. Why? We are about to have a very not scheduled press conference from President Barack Hussein Obama. The allegations: Osama bin Laden is dead. Ah, yeah, I can see why you'd want to. Yeah, and you got to go. You're going to have to go to where? Hey, Mike, got no best of. I'm on my way. I was in Denver. Um, and that was the scheduled one. Yes. So that was the biggie for history, of course. The infamous assassination of the worst, the FBI's number one. He wasn't. He didn't he get on the. You sure? Then remember they staged the photo in the room. They were all in shock because they watched it in real time. And then members of Congress said that they saw the pictures of, and they didn't. And and then we had a burial at sea because that's part of the Muslim tradition. What? The American people bought that? Oh, yes, they did. Hook, line, and sinker. Because you don't want to claim that the president's lying because you'd be a racist. You hate black people. You don't trust government. All right, I think that's enough. This is almost 40 minutes of nonsense. Um, Thank you for tolerating it. Thank you for putting up with it. Thank you for watching it. And if you express comments, I will try and get back to them. I know Damon says don't feed the animals, but it is what it is. So follow me on social media: Scooter McGee on Facebook, the Scooter McGee on Twitter, Scooter McGee #1 on Rumble, or since you're here on YouTube watching this live stream, subscribe and hit the notification button so you'll know the next time I'm live. And you all better pray to Christ that I don't crack No, I think tonight I'm going to bake, in honor of Baron von Richthofen, how about a bunt cake? Bunt cake, the bunt, the right? That's the tube with, not the tube pan, but the bunt cake with the ridges and the. I'll make a bunt cake and I'll do a short. What would be a good cake to make? I have cocoa in the building with pineapple. Ooh, pineapple upside down bunt. Nah, it'd be gross. Um, what goes good with pistachio ice cream? Pistachio ice cream is horribly underrated, but so is spumoni. And what would I know? Again, Irish Roman Catholic conservative nationalist, removing expatriate of Irish mafia. What the would you know about spumoni ice cream? Ask my crew. All right. Good night, everybody. Drive well. Drive well. Be safe. Be well. Scooter just popped out. All right, kids. Good night. Drive safe and thanks for coming. This is not the heartthrob. Sorry. Be well, be safe, and be incredibly leery of the headlines, even the ones that I ramble off at night. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Be safe. I'm out.